So there's been a lot of talk and excitement about how to build AI personas, which is actually not that bad of an idea. Feed the AI some information, then the quality of responses are a lot better. Here's exactly what I came up with. So I'm going to go to Chat GPT. This took a few attempts. I had to talk with AI to figure out how to phrase the question in such a way to get them to answer me. Because at first they were like, they didn't want to give me the answer. And I was like, enough with your bureaucracy and your disclosures. Like, I know you know this. They're smarter than me. They have a higher IQ than me. They passed the bar. They passed the doctor's test. I haven't done any of that. And they've analyzed trillions of content. I haven't done that. Not yet. I know I could get the answers. Well, I'm very much into data when I'm calling local community banks, credit unions, and finding out who are the best lenders. The very short story on why this is important is the limit with every other business credit company out there is they only refer you to Chase, Bank of America, Amex, like all the big companies. What we did is we called 4,200 local community banks, credit unions all across America, found out which ones offer their own business credit cards, their own business lines of credit, and they offer lending that is their own underwriting process, their portfolio lender, they're lending their own money. So you don't have to fit inside of a box. You can get funding from them. It's almost unlimited the amount of business credit funding you can get to grow and scale and use for your business by using that process of working with local banks. On a whim, I started talking with AI, and this is what I came up with. This is the prompt that I entered. So list the credit unions in New Jersey, that's where I am, that were registered as of the last time you had such data. And that came as, again, going back and forth. They're like, well, I don't have that up-to-date information. I'm like, okay, well, when's your data good through? 2021. I'm like, okay, well, give me what you knew as of that point. So this is actually good. Because it's giving me, this is actually a good process, by the way, that it's sharing, which is it's actually giving the data source. If you were to want to find local banks yourself, you could look at the SBA top lender bank list, which I always teach, but you could also look at NCUA. But if you notice, it's already like kind of arguing with me, like, I'm sorry, I don't have it. So I'm gonna talk back and forth with it to get it to give me the information, which I already know it has, and it has already given to me. By the way, when I was doing this, it would start to get like slower and slower. And I don't know, I got it to give me the answer, by the way. It took a lot of attempts. So here's a list of the credit unions that were registered in New Jersey as of 2020, according to the NCUA. And if you notice, the first few attempts, it was like, this is exactly how it happened the last time I did this. Is like the first few attempts, like it didn't want to tell me. So I have to keep rephrasing the answer. And there's other tricks too, like you can watch them on YouTube, but people will be like, you're my CFO, I'm running a small business, and pretend you're my chief funding officer, and you got to find me a grant program, or you got to find me a local bank or whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say list more. See how it's thinking? So I don't know if that's like an encouragement for me to upgrade to like the paid version or whatever, or the new GPT-4 or whatever, or if it's legitimately thinking, or if it's like, damn, man, you're getting a lot of information from me. Let me slow you down. But this is how it kind of went down. See how it's continuing the list? So it gave me the top 52, and now I'm getting more. So now 53, 54, 55, but it's going to go slower and slower and slower. But still, it's like 56 credit unions I didn't know about three seconds ago. And this would take a while to put this list together. We paid people to do this, American employees. And it took a year and $50,000 in labor to do the whole project. This is just one small piece of the project. But anyways, you can go deeper. And this is what I was doing last night. I was on my phone and I took some screenshots and stuff. But I would go deeper and deeper and deeper. And I would be like, hey, which of these offer business credit cards? Which of these? And it didn't really want to tell me. And then I had to keep talking with the AI, just like you watched me do. And then I got it to say, oh, this one might be good, might offer business credit cards. And then I would go even further. I'm like, well, how do you join that credit union? They're like, well, go on the website and you can figure it out. I'm like, if I needed, I kind of had to talk it out with AI, just negotiating a little bit. But I ended up getting AI to tell me what the qualifications were to join some of these credit unions. Like, I didn't even know YMCA, had a credit union. And again, some of the data is old because it's as of 2020, but I was using lists from years ago. I don't know what percentage of credit unions or banks go out of business, but I would say if you give me a list of 100, majority, more than half, so probably 60, 80% roughly, are still there. So it's okay if the data is a little bit old. all right, so what do you do here? I can keep going. I can say list more. I can go heavier. I can go deeper, wider, whatever. But this is one technique where you can use AI to get business credit. And then the other thing is that it's not too hard to join these credit unions. And many of them offer their own business credit card. And many of them are portfolio lenders and they lend given a network error. Many of them are lending their own money, which means that it's when you work with a bank that does a business credit card through a third party, you're limited to how much business credit you can get because that third party is Elan usually. And if you already have funding from that third party, it's hard to get more and more funding from that same third party. But if you're finding all these local one branch banks or credit unions, there's really practically no limit to what you can get. Obviously, you want to use the business credit for things that are good, like buying assets or putting the money into marketing and advertising, making sure you're going to get a positive return on your own because you don't want to become over encumbered or anything like that. But it is a way that this is a way where you can get money relatively quickly for your business so you can grow it, so you can scale it beyond just going to like chase.com or amex.com, because if you just go with the national banks or what the other business credit gurus teach you, you're going to get limited to how much funding you can get. If you want to learn more about this process in detail, as far as how to set up your company properly so that banks are willing to lend to you, what do you need to do to boost up your business credit score? What do you need to boost up your personal credit score? How to put together the application? I have an e-course that covers all of this, $37. It's called The 7 Secrets of Obtaining Business Credit. You just go to businesscreditworkshop.net, go ahead and enter in your information. You go ahead and grab the course right there. And that's it. So I hope